We did do LTC for the content, but vlogging involves a lot of editing, and I'm very sleepy. So for today, I'm going to make do with a reflection on my time there. One of the things about Melee that I've always missed in switching to primarily playing Splatoon is how strong the in-person community around the game was. It was literally impossible to play the game online until 19 years after it came out. So the culture of the game is all about having a local Smash Bros. Watering hole, knowing the people in your school and your neighborhood and your city who play. The big LANs gain a lot of context and meaning when you drive down with a carpool of those people and get to see how they do against people from other watering holes, other cities. It's about making a name for yourself to people who have never seen you before. About that player you've been watching climb the ranks in your local brackets, starting to take names they've never taken before. Surprise a commentator, hit a combo that the whole world knows them for now. Splatoon has big LANs. The same big LANs, in fact, that the Melee community has, because we've been piggybacking on their events for years. But the local scenes have historically been sparse. What this has often meant is that going to a LAN is a euphoric experience where you're overwhelmed with people you need to give hugs to and trade art with and get food with and tell stories to, and you have a concentrated, sleep-deprived weekend packed full of opportunities to do that without any breaks. But then the LAN ends. Everyone flies home and there isn't another one for 4 months. Splatoon players talk about post-LAN depression, the sadness that this amazing moment is done and won't be back for a while. And while I've definitely had moments where I was sad to leave a Melee tournament, that feeling never really caught on as much in the community consciousness because you were going back home to play more games with the people you drove there with. You get to talk to them IRL about that one thing they did the very next day. There historically haven't been very many local Splatoon scenes, nowhere near as many as there were local Melee scenes, since the game's a little smaller and has been online since it was released. Collegiate and high school Splatoon is pretty active through orgs like the CCA and PlayVersus, but not everyone who wants to play is in college or high school. COVID landing smack in the middle of Splatoon 2's lifespan certainly didn't help, and with a bit of a bubble bursting in the esports industry at the moment, it's not the easiest thing to find viable business models and venues. But that's been in the process of changing recently, and the prospect is really exciting. At LTC, I talked to Pepe, who has accomplished something I tried and failed to do around 5 years ago: start a local tournament in Arizona. I hear they've been getting dozens of entrants, having hype matches, and that players have been improving really quickly because of the environment there. Pepe, of course, won Genesis X with Mickey Mart, but Shiny has also been going to those events. If you're from Arizona, you've gotta get out to Sunset Surge, because that's a team of coaches that'll be better for you than my videos will, that's the truth. I'm also hearing about local scenes growing in SoCal and Pennsylvania, and at this point the New York scene is making Gridlock into one of the bigger events of the year, and that's just what I'm hearing about in my immediate circle without thinking too hard about it. In the Melee community, there are a lot of places on Earth I can fly to and find a Smash player's couch to crash on. I've played Melee in 10 different states, including Alaska, as well as in Barcelona when I went on vacation with my parents. The moments in transit, in carpools, staying at people's houses, getting food between waves, visiting something in town before the trip home, chatting with a Catalan who spoke English so fluently I thought he was from Michigan, are moments of connection with other people and the rest of the world around us. I would argue that Splatoon LANs are important to a degree that most people would laugh at. What's important is supposed to be making money, and starting a family, and saving the world. But those things are hard to do if we're stressed out and busy all the time. Happy people are more productive people. And therefore, the things that make us happy are an important part of all the achievements we're trying to unlock and all the high scores we're trying to hit in our everyday lives. One of the easiest ways to make someone miserable, and therefore less productive, less likely to achieve something great, is to socially isolate them. I've spoken in a video before about the importance of third places, spaces for unstructured social interaction, places where people just go to hang out, and how we haven't been designing our lives to create them as much as I'd like. Discord and Twitter are not a replacement for this. People act differently when their gamer tags spelled out on a screen than when they're people in front of you with body language and haircuts and outfit decisions. We miss out on a lot of what makes us who we are, as well as experiences outside we could be having, by only ever staying inside and playing games over VC. If we want to spend a lot of our free time playing Splatoon, at a certain point that's the only option we have unless there's a local scene for us to congregate in. There are some places where it will be hard to find enough people who play to start something, but if you live in or near a major city, I think you absolutely could have something. A while ago, I stopped into a GameStop to get a Pro Controller when mine started drifting, and the guy who rang me up was on one of the Splat-A-Lot teams. The people are out there. It just takes some smart marketing to find them and get them all in one place. I'll also say that TOing isn't as daunting as you might think. I got involved with it unintentionally when I was a freshman in college, didn't even know how to run a bracket, but someone taught me and I learned. And those events became important to my scene. I want to start seeing teams that met locally traveling together to compete at majors. I want people to be able to get food together after tournaments instead of hanging out on Discord calls, as fun as spamming soundboards and swapping bad Photoshop art can be. It only takes one person in your city to step up and decide they want that for their area, and then everyone else gets to have it. I'm sure that if you shoot any experienced TO a DM, they'd be more than happy to give you the info you need to get started. And even if you don't think you have what it takes to be the leader of the community, you can at least play a supporting role. You can at least be there to help stack chairs up at the end of the day, or to help the TO yell when their voice is shot. Think about it.